there's a lot of different ways they drill wells. The most simplistic is literally go out and dig it by hand. Use a backhoe or a shovel and dig these shallow wells, and there's a lot of shallow wells around the country. The one in my backyard is a hand-dug well. It's only 12 feet deep. Went out and they hand-dug it and literally used buckets to lift it out, lift the material out of the hole as they fill buckets down in the bottom and lift it out and dump it up on top as they got deep. And it was all done by shovel. But then they come up, you know, with these deeper wells. They said, well, there's got to be a better way than that. And so they got rigs that just slam down, slam, slam, slam. You know, it's like watching them drive pilings on new buildings. Well, they drill, well drillers use the same method. The cable, they call them a cable tool rig. What it is, a big heavy weight with diamond teeth on the bottom of it, and it lifts it up and then drops it. Lifts it up so many feet and drops it. And it just keeps crushing the rock below it as it hits it. And then they, after they crush rock a couple inches deep or so, they flush it out. And then they crush another couple inches and they flush it out. And you get into really hard rock, and they might only go a couple inches a day, just pounding away at it.
Like dynamite.
Or they can go maybe a foot a day. Just pound, pound, and you hear them. Kaboom, 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 all day long, about drive you nuts. Well, that was an accepted way for years and years until they got the new rotary drills. And the new rotary drills have a group of iron teeth like on balls on the bottom of them. So maybe you have like a group of little balls with diamonds sticking out on the faces of them. And it just turns around and around and it just starts grinding. And it just grinds right down. And they can drill at an average of, around a foot a minute. And what slows them down is every 21 feet, you got to add another piece of casing on. So you can drill 20 minutes, you've drilled 20 feet, then you got to go weld on another piece of casing and get it ready to go, and then drill another 20 feet, and you can put a well down in a hurry. It takes, they drilled a well on our property 100 feet deep in an hour with a rotary rig. It would have taken days with the cable tool to do.
Well, what kind of soil was it?
After 20 feet, it hit basalt. And in fact, the worst stuff to dig through is that surface dirt and river rock and stuff, because it doesn't keep a shape and it's gunky, cruddy stuff. With those tools, boy, they'd much rather be digging, and you know, an auger would have been best for that first layer. But once they get down through all that fragmented gunk and hit the real rock, man, then they're in their turf. Then they really go.
How often does it eat up bits?
I don't know what the rate is. And again, the question relates to the quality of the rock they're in. The harder the rock, the quicker it chews it up. But those diamond bits can last a long, long time. And the rate of drilling, this guy, the basalt was pretty soft. They were going 3 feet a minute. And it was taking them about 6 or 7 minutes to drill a 21-foot joint. And then they have to stop. They have to weld on another piece of casing, press it down, and then put on another length on the tool to push it down in the ground, and away they go again. Now, not only is it drilling down, but it has an injector system of a slurry that is being flushed down into the ground to lift all the crud out. So they got a big air compressor sitting there on the back of a 40-foot bed trailer, a big air compressor, and they are pumping a slurry of water and clay down into the hole, and it picks up, it agitates and blows back up out of the hole whatever is down in the bottom, all the little grindings. And so they're literally picking up with that clay slurry. The clay grabs hold of that and they pump the grindings right out with it. Very slick operation. It blows right back up out of the hole. They got a tube going down and it blows it coming right back up. A little messy, but not bad.
There next to that hole.
Well, they got it covered so it doesn't just blow everywhere. But it's spewing water out. That clay water mix is coming out all the time. With the grindings, all of the little gravel, it's just making fine gravel. It's all it's doing. Those bits are just crushing that basalt. And boy, they drill them in a hurry. And that's how they drill these oil wells. I mean, they can go 10, 12,000 feet with that kind of drilling operation.
But they also put that slurry in there to keep those bits cool.
Oh yeah, it's also a lubricant and a coolant as well, sure. And in this case, they hit water immediately, so they really had the lubricant and coolant working for them all the time. We hit water at 5 feet in that hole, but we wanted to get down into that next layer of water, so we cased off the surface. We didn't want to drink that surface water. We wanted to get down there. We cased down 100 feet to seal off all that stuff.
What it cost you for